Middle MAGA.
Secretary of Education's outrageous comment, a breaking point. The Secretary of Education highlights the need for a moral consensus. In the grand theater of the absurd, where the script of reality seems to have been penned by a sardonic playwright, we find ourselves in a scene that would be laughable if it weren't so deeply troubling. Picture this: the Secretary of Education of the United States, Miguel Cardona, takes to Twitter on June 2023 to decry the banning of books based on personal preference. The tweet, viewed over 1 million times, ignites a firestorm. But the controversy isn't about the banning of classics like To Kill a Mockingbird or 1984. No, the books in question are a different breed altogether. Banning books based on personal preference is ridiculous. Secretary Miguel Cardona, June 4, 2023. Titles such as Genderqueer, a memoir, Flamer, This Book is Gay, and Let's Talk About It have been removed from school curriculums. These aren't your typical coming-of-age novels or historical accounts. They're explicit, graphic, and, according to many, entirely inappropriate for a school setting. Yet, here we have the Secretary of Education rallying against their removal. Your daily reminder that when they accuse us of banning books, they're referring to pornographic books which are offered to kids in schools across the country. Why does the U.S. Secretary of Education want kids reading porn like this in school? Libs of TikTok, June 4, 2023. The epicenter of this literary quake? Florida, under the governance of Ron DeSantis. The state has become the battleground for a war of words, ideas, and, ultimately, the direction of our nation's moral compass. The question at the heart of it all: who gets to decide what's appropriate for our children to read? The voices of Libs of TikTok and Toby at Tob1979 on Twitter echo the sentiments of many. These books weren't banned, they were left out of the curriculum because they weren't suitable for school. Could there be some books deemed inappropriate that warrant a legitimate argument for inclusion? Perhaps. But we can't even begin that discussion until we reach a moral consensus on the current crop of controversial books. The trans movement talk of banning books for kids the same way they talk of banning trans healthcare for kids. It sounds terrible until you realize that they are talking about hardcore porn for 9-year-olds and double mastectomies for 13-year-olds. They have corrupted the language. Toby, June 5, 2023. This isn't just a controversy, it's a backlash. It's a collective recoiling from a line crossed. It's the moment in the movie where the audience gasps, not at a plot twist, but at the audacity of a character's actions. It's the Secretary of Education promoting explicit content for kids in school. It's a scene that leaves us questioning, where did our common decency go? Post-George Floyd, America has been on a roller coaster ride, careening through a landscape of social and political upheaval. The tracks seem to be leading us towards a point of no return. The idea of keeping this union together feels increasingly like trying to hold water in our hands. It's well beyond time for a peaceful separation. In this unfolding drama, we're reminded of the antebellum moments leading up to the Civil War. The divide isn't geographical this time, it's ideological. It's a chasm that widens with every tweet, every decision, every book removed or retained. It's a divide that questions the very foundation of our nation, the rights of the individual versus the power of the state. As we navigate this complex narrative, let's remember that the parents of the community should be the ones deciding what books are appropriate for their children. And let's agree that books violating decency laws should not be funded by taxpayers. After all, in this grand theater of the absurd, we're not just spectators, we're also the critics, the playwrights, and the actors. And the next scene is ours to write.
Excuse me, this is your favorite president, down on J. Trump AI, and I'm repping with my boy Osiris. He's doing good things over there, I hear. Middle MAGA.